Hello Mzansi, you are listening to Farmers Inside Track, proudly brought to you by Food for Mzansi. Officially, this is the world's best podcast for 2024, as awarded by WAN EFRA, the global organization for the world's press. I am your host, Patricia Tembo. Welcome to episode 452. Today we're discussing youth and community development through agriculture. This episode is set to be insightful as we welcome Marvelous Makado and Mukevo Muchaya, founders of Roana EasyFarm. They will be sharing how they've leveraged their farm and resources for the betterment of the Chauru community in Venda.
Hello, Marvelous and Machaya. Thank you so much for joining us on Farmers Inside Track podcast. We're so excited to talk to you on Food for Mzansi and hear what you're doing, the project that you're doing in the community. I would like to start with you, Marvelous. Can you please just introduce yourself to our listeners?
Thank you so much. My name is Makado Marvelous. I'm from Chauru, Venda to be specific, in Limpopo. I'm very much happy to be in this meeting today where we're going to be discussing everything about aquaculture.
Thank you for that introduction. And Machaya is also here with us. Would you please introduce yourself?
My name is Mukove Machaya. I'm from Venda in Limpopo. Thank you so much for inviting us on this podcast that we are going to have.
I'm curious now to know how you started fish farming in Venda, because a lot of people associate agriculture with, the coast, like if you live near the ocean.
I have always loved fish ever since I was young. And we used to go to the rivers just to catch some fish. The rivers that we were going to, they are very much dangerous because they are hippos and crocodiles. So we then come with an idea of how about we bring this thing home so that way and we can be able to see our fish every day. And we had to do a lot of research on what fish needs. And then with the environment this side, in Limpopo, it's always hot. So we thought of fish that we can venture into, and we decided to go with tilapia because it can adapt with the environment, because it needs a warm temperature. And then that is when we decided to go for tilapia fish this side.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And Mukove, yourself, how did you get into aquaculture?
I didn't have much knowledge about it, but when I started meeting Marvelous, it was something good, something that I can say I did very well by venting on it. And since we have met now, I'm a good fish farmer.
Thank you for the lovely introduction. And just to get right into it, Marvelous, can you tell us about the journey of establishing Roana EasyFarm and what inspired you to start this venture?
The journey of establishing Roana EasyFarm began with a passion for sustainable agriculture and desire to address local food security challenges like in Chauru, Venda. And the inspiration came from observing the potential for aquaculture to provide nutritious food and create jobs in the community. The idea was not only to farm fish, but also to promote environmentally friendly practices that will benefit the ecosystem.
That's quite interesting that it was not just to start, an aquaculture product, but to benefit the ecosystem. Machaya, can you give an idea of what the ecosystem is like in Chauru and Venda?
Mostly when we talk about the ecosystem part at Venda, actually for the environment that we are working on, we are focusing on the area or the biodiversity in the area, looking on how we get water and how we use our water to irrigate. So the connection for ecosystem within the landscape is what we are referring to based on the aquaculture practice.
Mukove, I'd like to ask you, what challenges have you come across while running this project?
Running Roana, it's a new challenge, even though the challenge turned out as a winning point or a benefit to us. I can start with a challenge for a resource. So when it comes to the resource, we are so limited to the point that some of the things we end up not doing it because the resources are limited. For example, the area that we are currently operating at, it's at the backyard at home. So you'll find that when we try to expand the area for more productivity, it's limit us. But now we are on working, getting a space where now the resources are still limiting us because of the safety. So we are still looking on the fence setup of the area for that we can have a much productivity. And the other challenges that I can say we are experiencing much is the fish feedings. Fish feedings are not easy to be accessible because we are from rural area. So for us to get the fish feeding, that means we have to travel to town or to area where we can get all the materials for the fish. And again, as we have mentioned that we are based at the rural area, water is another issue that we experience in our daily life because we depend much on the river water. So you'll find that for us to have a daily dam running water, it requires us lots of logistics to run that process. So it's something that I can say since we have started with Roana, those are the challenges that we are experiencing.
Regardless of the challenges that you are facing or have been facing, Roana EasyFarm is already impacting the community very positively. And I'd like to go more into that. Can you elaborate on the sustainable practices Roana EasyFarm employs there where you are in Venda?
With the sustainable practices at Roana EasyFarm. So remember, Roana EasyFarm is operating in two things. So we have aquaculture, crop farming that we are practicing on our farm. So we make sure that we feed our fish with organic materials, and also the water that we use, that we got from the fish, we don't just throw them away. We make sure that they are being used for irrigation as they have a high nutrients and they don't contain harmful chemicals for our agricultural practices. So that's something that I can say for sustainable practice. We are in good practice. We are in good condition. Like we are practicing all things that we can say they are reducing climate change impact on our farm, and also with the support of less pollution at our environment. Thank you.
Thank you. You explained that really well. Marvelous has also shared, the heart of Roana EasyFarm, as well as you've also shared this, that it's, to develop the community. Marvelous. How has Roana EasyFarm contributed to food security in Chauru?
Roana EasyFarm contributed to local food security by providing a steady supply, of fresh fish and vegetables, which is essential to the community, the tertiary and needs. It also creates employment opportunities by helping the local economy and reduce unemployment rates.
Mukove, do you have anything you'd like to add to that as well, like what you've seen in terms of food security and how it's helped to the community?
My colleague mentioned all the contribution that we provide on our local community, so I want to add much. Thank you.
In South Africa, we know that the youth are a very important part of, society, and there's also high unemployment rate in the youth. So I'd just like to know how Roana EasyFarm has contributed to youth employment and as well as education, because I know Marvelous has shared a little bit about it with me as well. If you can just give us an idea as well, like what Roana EasyFarm is doing for the youth.
Roana EasyFarm is doing very well when it's come to the youth contribution or involving youth on the decision making, I can say. And for that, I can just add it on. We are using the bottom-up method, which we say we consult at the community, engaging with the youth on how they can start to understand the aquaculture aspect actually. So we have been working with different youth on our farm, and also the youth that we have, they have been showing much interest on starting to practice or starting to see the benefit of practicing aquaculture. So looking on that, we have almost 24 youth that they have been coming in and out of practicing, getting information from Marvelous, getting information on how to put the business proposal, how to approach people when it's come to in terms of aquaculture concept. I can say we are looking forward to minimize the unemployment for youth at our community by introducing the aquaculture concept on our community.
Marvelous. What are you looking forward to for Roana EasyFarm?
Yes, we would love to see more employment on our youth, and we would love to really carry this thing out. We would love more youth to join this aquaculture business. With Roana EasyFarm, We have been doing this for quite a while now and without any support, but we would love to get support from anyone who can help us or who can be able to help us carry this dream through. We would love to have a training center and help more youth who would love to start this aquaculture journey.
Mukobe, marvelous. He's mentioned that, he would like to help even more youth. With the youth that you have helped already, how have they been helped? What resources have you been able to provide them with through the farm?
Mostly the help that we provide, even though we are not that professional, help people that they are accredited to give good training. We make sure that the people that approach us for assistance, we show them how to construct a normal standard pond for fish farming, which is something that each and every fish farmer, they have to know how to construct that pond so that they can have the good productivity for the fish. And we also show them how to feed the fish, because it's not about just pouring the food on the water and you expect that everything will come out as you are expecting. You must know like the size of the fish that are in your pond. Again, also, you must also construct the time that, okay, your fish must know that, okay, in this time, it's time for food. At this time, there's water coming in, there's oxygen running in. So it's something that we also provide the information about. And again, we make sure that most of them, they already have the capacity or they have a pond to start fish farming, and the pond is on a constructed standard, or we can say it's standard pond to carry the fish. We reward them with few fingerling that we can see that, okay, this person will produce good fish after the training that we give them. So it's something that we just give them outline what we are doing. We give them what we are practicing actually at our farm.
That's really wonderful. Thank you, Mukobe. And the fish that they end up farming, do they take it home or is it part of a feeding scheme?
We don't provide big fish for you to eat. For the person who have passion and he's into or she's into the aquaculture farming, they always request fingerling, which is the smallest size of fish. So they know that, okay, with this size of fish, they are going to have a good productivity on their pond. So it's just a reward, or we can say it's a donation or it's an upliftment from us for you to start if you are keen to practice. It's not everyone who get opportunity to get fish. Some they will say, okay, I don't have a facility, I don't have a dam, but with the training that you guys show me, I'm keen to start. And when I'm ready to start fish farming, I will come and buy the fingerling.
Very wonderful what you and Marvelous are doing in the community, because you're empowering the community and, giving them the skills that they need to feed themselves and the family and to make, a living from it as well. So I'm admiring what you guys are doing through Roana EasyFarm as well. And just to wrap up the conversation, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs looking to enter the aquaculture sector? I'll start with Marvelous. What advice do you have as an aquaculturalist yourself?
My advice is to start with research and understanding of the local market's demands. Building a strong network within the community, being adaptable to challenges, and committing to sustainable practices will set a solid foundation for success. Passion and perseverance are crucial as well. The rewards can be significant, not just for the individuals, but the community as well.
Thank you so much for that answer. And Mukobe, do you have any tips that you would give a young entrepreneur?
Don't limit yourself because of the results. Most of us, we are starting from nowhere, going somewhere. But if you know and you have passion about this, don't say, I can't do it. Go there and do it and start and build a good relationship with the community and all the networks that are out there for aquaculture or for any business that is out there, because you will never know who's looking and who's admiring for what you're doing.
Thank you so much to Marvelous Makado and Mukebo Machaya, founders of Roana EasyFarm. For more on this topic, visit www.foodforumzansi.co.za. And that brings us to the end of the episode. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platforms. From me, Patricia Tembo, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food Forum Zanzi, thank you for listening.